Good. Good morning, YouTube. Myron Golden here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why people are not buying your irresistible offer. And I talk to a lot of clients. I talk to a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs and people who are struggling in their business. And they're like, man, I don't know why nobody's buying my offer. It's so good. Okay, so I'm going to break down some reasons why your offer, whether it's a $20 book or a $200 coaching or $200 home study course or a $2,000 study course or a $20,000 mastermind or a $200,000 VIP day or a $2 million excursion, whatever your offer is, why aren't people buying your irresistible offer? And most people believe their offers are irresistible. So I'm going to tell you the first reason people aren't buying your irresistible offer. Reason number one they don't buy is because you're selling to the wrong people. So now, how can you tell if you're selling to the wrong people? The first thing you have to understand when you're selling to the wrong people is if you're selling to a group of people where the group of people is not large enough. So one of the reasons people resist your irresistible offer is because when you're selling to a group of people that's not large enough to be targeted. So you need to have a pool of people that's large enough to be targeted in order for you to make your irresistible offer irresistible, because just by the sheer law of averages, the law of large numbers, just by those two numbers alone, then if you have a big enough pool of people, you're going to make some sales. Even if you're not good. If you have a large group of people with a really big problem and you can solve those and you have a real solution to that problem, even if you're not good, people are going to buy it. So one of the things you want to do is make sure you don't niche down so far or have a niche so weird. Always makes me a little nervous for people when they say, like, I've got this thing and it's in this market and nobody's selling in that market. Well, that might be because that ain't a market, right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're selling to the to the right people. And in order to notice that the people that you're selling to, it has to be a big group of people, a big pool of people. They have to have a big problem, and they have to be willing and able to pay for the solution. That's how you know you've got the right people. That's the first thing. Okay, so they're selling to the wrong people. And jokingly and non-jokingly, I say, what are some of the worst kinds of people to sell to? Well, one of the worst kind of people to sell to is freeple people. What are freeple people? Freeple people are people who want everything for free, right? You don't want to sell to freeple people. And freeple people will think if you're selling something to them, if it costs more than they would be willing to pay, then you're taking advantage of people. So you got to make sure that you're selling to a large enough group of people, and the people are not freeple people. You want to make sure also the people are not cheaple people. And you know what cheaple people are? Those are people who will buy something, but only if it's cheap, right? The people you want to sell to, see, these are like, don't sell to these people, right? Okay, but the people you want to sell to are these people. Oh, didn't mean to put that line there. Are these people. You want to sell to feeple people. These are people who are willing to pay a fee, and you want to sell to preeple people. Preeple people. Who are preeple people? People who are willing to pay a premium, right? So don't sell to the wrong people. Sell to the right people. Large enough group of people to be targeted, large enough to find. They're easy to find on the internet or off the internet, and then they have to be willing to pay. Or willing to pay a premium. So the biggest reason your irresistible offer doesn't sell is you're selling to the wrong people. Second biggest reason your offer doesn't sell is you are the wrong person. Like, you're the wrong person selling the offer. Now, what makes you the wrong person to sell the offer? Well, three things. A, people don't know you. They don't know who you are. So, like, why should I buy something from you? I don't know you, right? How many of you, have sold insurance or something in the past? You do a great presentation, they love your presentation, and then they call you the next day and say, well, my cousin's in that same business, I called them and bought it from them, right? So you want to make sure, it's really interesting. I got this in a book by Robert Kiyosaki called Business School for People Who Like Helping People, a long time ago. He said, the value of a network is the number of the people in the network square, right? So And what you want to do is you want to make sure that if you're gonna make sales and be the right person, you have to be the kind of person that people like. You need to be likable. What can I do to be likable, Myron? It's really, really simple. There's a really good biblical principle for this. What can I do to be more likable? He that hath friends must show himself friendly. Oh, did you hear that? It didn't say he that hath friends must feel like he's friendly. It didn't say he that hath friends must think that he's friendly. It didn't even say he that hath friends must tell other people that he's friendly. What did he say? What did he say? He that hath friends must show himself friendly. So friendliness is a show, not a show like it's fake, but it has to show. It shows up on your face. It shows up in your actions. It shows up in the words that you say to people, right? So people don't know you, or they don't trust you. Well, why don't people trust you? Well, sometimes people don't trust you because they don't know you. Sometimes people don't trust you because they do know you. Oh, snap. Did he go there? Yeah, right. Exactly. Right? Sometimes people don't trust you because they do know you. And you said you're going to do things in the past and not done them. You said, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and instead you got there in 2 hours, right? You said, yeah, I'll be there, and didn't show up and didn't call, right? And so people don't trust you when they can't count on you. When your word doesn't mean anything to you, it also doesn't mean anything to them. It's so interesting. It says in John 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and the same was in the beginning with God, and all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Down in verse 14, it says, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory as the glory of the only begotten of the Father. Now, this is not an interpretation of that verse 14. This is an application of that verse 14. It's an application that I've pulled as a parallel. It says that about Christ, that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. But for me, when my word becomes my flesh, I can dwell among the people I gave my word to. When I don't keep my word and my word doesn't become my flesh, I have to hide from those very same people. And that's what ends up happening, right? You give your word to somebody, you tell them you're going to do something, you don't do it, and then they don't hear from you until the next time you need something. People don't buy from you because you're not the right person, right? You don't return phone calls. You don't return text messages. You practice avoidance behavior. Well, hiding doesn't help people trust you, right? It says the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. What does it say after that? And we beheld his glory as the glory of the only begotten of the Father. When your word becomes your flesh, people will believe your story and behold your glory. But if your word doesn't become your flesh, people just don't trust you, right? So people don't trust you, you're not the right person. But then there's another one. Another reason you're the wrong person is people don't like you. Like, I may have a big problem. You may have a great solution. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I don't like you, I'm not buying it from you. And I'm probably the only weirdo on all of YouTube like this, or on all of Zoom like this. But when I go to a restaurant, I do my best to develop good relationships with a couple of servers that I'm very friendly with, and I tip them very well. And when I go there, I ask for them because they know I'm going to treat them well, and I know they're going to treat me well. I don't want some person whose mind is somewhere else bringing me my food and the wrong stuff, and I ask for hot tea and they bring me iced tea. I don't want that, right? I don't like hassle at all, but I really hate it when it's around eating food, right? So I like to eat in peace and happiness, right? So people don't like you. We've got a server at Eddie V's downtown in Tampa. Like, she gets my granddaughter a birthday present every year, right? But I go in there and we treat her really, really well. And we used to do bring in big groups of people there. And when I was doing conferences, we bring big groups of people in there, and the bill might come to $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, and she'd get a $1,500 tip, and she'd feel like, oh my goodness, right? So all I'm saying like, people won't buy from you if they don't like you. Now, I do everything in my power to love everybody, but I don't like everybody all the time. Is that too honest? Like, right? I don't like it. I just like everybody all the time. Well, I haven't been able to figure out how to pull that off. Because guess what? Everybody ain't likable. Some people are mean. Some people are just liars, right? Some people don't like. are gossipers. Some people will talk bad about you behind your back and act like they're your friend to your face. Like, I know you love those people, and I love them too, but I don't like them all the time. I'm just telling you, right? So if you want people to buy your irresistible offer, make sure you're talking to the right people, and make sure when you do that, you're the right person. Okay? But here's the other problem. Number 3, your irresistible offer becomes irresistible because you're not solving a real problem. In fact, I'm gonna do it like that. There's no real problem. Like, you created a solution for a problem that nobody has. I see this all the time. People are like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And then they show it to you and like, okay, but who's gonna use it? Right? You want a problem, you don't want to solve a problem you know people have. You want to solve a problem people know people have. Right? And people say, but Myron, I want to write this book and tell people my story. I got news for you, baby. I got news for you. And maybe I'm the first one honest enough to tell you this. Nobody cares about your story. But your mama, and she don't want to read it because she was there when it happened. Right? Like, people don't, like, here's the reality. People say, I want to tell my story. People don't want to hear your story. Here's what people want to know. The only value your story has to somebody else is if it shows them how to get from where they are now because you were there to where they are now, which is where you want to go, which is where they want to go, right? Your problem, your story rather, only has value to people as they see it as an illustration of a promise to a problem. Am I talking too fast? Right? So much people, but Myron, you wrote a book about your story, from the trash man to the cash man, how anyone can get rich starting from anywhere. That book is not about my story. I mean, listen to the title, From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. Why did I title it that? I titled the book From the Trash Man to the Cash Man because everybody believes they're smarter than all the people they're looking at. And everybody believes they're smarter than the trash man, right? So I wrote a book called From the Trash Man to the Cash Man, and then the subtitle is How Anyone Can Get Rich Starting from Anywhere. Why? To send the message, if a trash man can do it, you can do it. The book is not about my story. Like, my story just happens to be an example of the promise. Are y'all tracking? So make sure that when you're solving a problem, you're solving a real problem that's going on in the real world. Well, when I say there's no real problem, what do I mean? I mean, like, it's not really a problem. There's no pain. See, real problems have pain, right? So there's no pain. They're not in any pain and agony. You know, there are so many people out there, for instance, that have like businesses where they have credit repair services. And why do you have credit repair services? Because having bad credit is painful. Why? Because you can only buy the things you have the cash. You can only buy the things you have the cash for, and you can't do anything in business, and you can't buy investments if you don't. I mean, you can, but very few people have enough money to go and buy an apartment building and pay cash for it. Now, I could go and buy an apartment building and pay cash for it, but I would never do that, right? It's better for me to use somebody else's money. So if you don't have good credit, that's pain, right? There's no real pain. Or when you solve the problem, there's no real pleasure, right? So if there's no real pain and there's no real pleasure, why should I buy your, quote, irresistible offer because you think it's so cool? And here's what's really interesting. People think their inventions are cool because of all the things that they had to put into inventing it. Nobody cares. People think that their book is a great book because of all that they learned before they wrote the book and all the experiences they've been through. People think that their degree is important to them, like a psychiatrist or a psychologist or somebody who has an MBA in business and they want to be a consultant. The thing that they emphasize is their degree, as if the marketplace cares about that. And I'm telling you, the marketplace don't care. That, like, your degree, I mean, it may add a little validation after people have already decided so that they can provide some confirmation bias, but your degree is not going to cause somebody to want to do business with you. Like, I mean, think about it. How many of you have ever been to the dentist, right? Did you say, okay, can I see your diploma? I want to see your degree. Nobody's ever said that to your dentist or your doctor, right? So your degree doesn't, like, I get it. That's where you've got all this time, effort, energy, and money and concentration put into it. So when you're talking to people, those are the things you emphasize. but nobody cares. So there's no real pain, there's no real pleasure, which means what? There's no real payoff. Because the payoff is what? Either get out of pain or get into pleasure. So there's no payoff. So they say no, because there's no real problem. And this is why people don't buy your irresistible offer. And the other one is, I don't remember what letter that was. I think it was 3. So I'm just going to assume. I think that was number 3. So the other problem is they got the wrong price. Now, a couple things about the price. The price is either too high for the payoff. It doesn't match. So the price outweighs the payoff. If the price outweighs the payoff, they're going to say no, right? And see, I've seen this happen for people. Like there are people, for instance, on Instagram. People message me all the time. Hey, Myron, let us help you get your blue check mark. It's $5,000. I don't care about a blue check mark that much. To pay, I mean, I know it's important, but it ain't that important to me, right? And so the price is too high for the payoff. It's not that the price is too high. It's just that it's way more pricey than the payoff, right? And when the price is too high, people don't buy. Y'all tracking? Now, the other problem is, which is a bigger problem for most entrepreneurs, the price is too low. Now, I know, you say, what do you mean the price is too low is a bigger problem? The price is too low is a bigger problem because when the price is too low and it doesn't match the payoff, people don't believe in the validity of the offer. Well, it can't be worth that. I want you to think about it. So somebody says, hey, I've got this Bentley, this 2017 Bentley Continental GT. It's only got 30,000 miles on it. I'll sell it to you for $500. Right? We got one taker, ladies and gentlemen. We got 500 going once, 500 going twice. Okay, so what happens is you're like, okay, something's wrong with this. Either it's stolen, the engine is jacked sideways, something's wrong somewhere, right? And so people don't believe, if your price is too low, people don't believe they're going to get the value. It's so interesting. There's a lot of conversation around pricing structures for things that people sell. So and what people have to do is they have to believe that, like if you're going to raise a price on something, people have to believe that the transformation is going to happen, and they have to believe that the price makes sense in the environment that the price is in. I'm going to give you an example. So I'm sure most of you who are watching this video have seen free plus shipping offers on books, right? So all you do is you pay shipping and we'll send the book to you. So they charge $7 for shipping and handling, or they charge $10 for shipping and handling, and then they send the book to you for free, which I used to do that too. I used to do a free plus shipping book offer, right? And we sold lots of books like that. Then when I came out with B.O.S.S Moves, I said, I'm not doing a free plus shipping offer. I'm not doing that. I know that's how most people sell most of the books they sell. I get it, but I'm not doing that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to sell B.O.S.S Moves, my B.O.S.S Moves book. I'm going to sell it for $30 plus $9.99 shipping and handling. Unless they buy it and they live overseas, then I'm going to sell it for $30, $29.99 plus $25 shipping and handling. While everybody else is doing free plus shipping. Now, what would you think? You think, well, that's not going to work, right? Isn't that what you think? That's not going to work in a market that's crowded with people giving books away for free and all you have to do is pay for shipping, and now you're selling this book for $30 and charging $10 shipping and handling on top of that? Nobody's going to buy that. Okay. We sell, between B.O.S.S Moves and Trash Man to Cash Man, we sell $25,000 to $30,000 dollars worth of books a month. Books. So there's one guy who really helped me understand why our Premium Plus shipping book offer works better than most people's Free Plus shipping offer. And it's because I gave them something to compare it to. What do you mean? So my B.O.S.S Moves, that book is like 4 moves that if you use them, I show you how to scale your business from $10,000 a month to $128,000 a month in 4 moves. And that's what the whole book is about. So I spent at Funnel Hacking Live a couple of years ago, Russell Brunson asked me to do a roundtable where entrepreneurs could just come around and listen to me teach. Well, I charge $25,000 an hour for coaching, which I know to some of you that sounds crazy. I get it. And if it sounds crazy, I would recommend highly that you don't pay it. Okay? But that's what I charge. And that's what people pay me. That's not just some random number I made up so I can say that. Like when people want one-on-one coaching with me, they pay $25,000 an hour. Which is why, by the way, my VIP days are $200,000 for the day. Because it's 8 hours, right? And I throw in a couple bonuses, but there are no discounts, right? So now some people may say, well, that's too high. Okay, I get it. It's not for you, and that's okay. I promise you, I'm not ever going to try to convince you to buy it. Any of that. Nothing I'm selling. I'm never going to try to convince you to buy any of it, right? So Russell asked me to do this roundtable. The roundtable lasted for about 2 hours. And basically, I was breaking down the 4 B.O.S.S moves in 2 hours. And when I did that, I recorded it. I took the recording, turned the recording into a transcript, and then spent a year and a half turning this transcript into a manuscript so it reads like a book, right? So it's literally like if you came to me and said, Myron, I've got a business, it's struggling, I want to make more money, and can you just coach me for 2 hours? Yeah, that'll be $50,000, right? Coaching for 2 hours. But the very things I would tell them are the things that are in that book. Are y'all tracking? So, and I tell them that on the sales letter for the book. You can either hire me for $50,000 and learn these things, or if you don't want to hire me for $50,000 and learn these things, you can buy this book for $29.99 plus $9.99 shipping and handling. So there's a guy in one of our coaching programs. He came on a testimony. He said, when I saw your book for $29.99 and $9.99 shipping and handling, I was so mad. I was like, who's this guy think he is? Everybody else is giving their books away for free and charging shipping and handling, and you're charging $30 plus $10 shipping. I was so mad. And then when I read the sales letter, he said, well, it's the same things I would get from you in coaching, and it's only $30 instead of $50,000. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in, right? And then he bought the book, right? So literally, all I had to do was give him a way to justify taking advantage of that offer for the B.O.S.S Moves book, and he bought it, right? And so, if somebody were to hire me for financial literacy, okay, Myron, I want you to teach me financial literacy. Okay, it'd take about 2 hours, $50,000, or it wouldn't take 2 hours, probably take an hour, like an hour. And so I could spend an hour with you and show you all the stuff, or you could buy Trash Man to Catch Me. I mean, see, think about how simple that presentation is, right? So now, because my price is not too low, and I gave them something to compare it to, but I didn't give them free plus shipping offers to compare it to. What did I give them to compare it to? $25,000 an hour coaching. That makes sense. You say, Myron, why do you charge? Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I charge $25,000 an hour. I'm going to tell you a story, and I know okay, I'm good for time. So I'm going to tell you why I charge $25,000 an hour, because when I coach people, they make money. So there are some guys that are also in Russell Brunson's inner circle, and Russell's inner circle is $50,000 a year, right? And we're in this program together. And these guys called me and they said, we were asking around the inner circle, we've got a live event coming up, and we've got 2,000 people registered for it. And they said, you're the best person to talk to. Could we have some like a conversation with you? We'd be happy to pay you for your time. I said, sure. I said, it's $25,000 an hour. I said, or you could join my inner circle, which is $155,000, and then you'll get an hour. You get an hour per year with that inner circle. So I'll give you the hour for the inner circle. They're like, we'll just take the $25,000. Okay, cool. Here's the wire instructions. When I get the wire confirmation, I'll send you the Zoom link. They wired the $25,000. They sent me the Zoom link. I sent them the Zoom link. We talked for an hour. I gave them some strategies that will take their business to the next level. They said, what would it take for you to come down and speak at our event? Well, if you were in my inner circle, I'd come down and speak for your event and help you sell your product, right? And And if you did that, if I came down and did that, like, you pay for my expenses to get there and get back, you buy my inner circle, and I'll come speak and help you close your deals, right? So then at the end of the coaching call, they said, so if we do your inner circle, does the $25,000 we just paid count towards that? No, this ain't that. No, it doesn't, right? And I wasn't being mean. I'm just like, this is how business is done. You said you wanted the hour. I gave you the hour. Okay, so now if you want the inner circle, yeah, you'll get another hour, but I'm not going to take the $25,000 that I've already earned and help you pay for my inner circle. I'm not going to do that. They said, okay, that makes sense. Well, let us talk about it. They called me back the next day. Okay, we want your inner circle. Well, wire you the $155,000. So literally, the day after the coaching call, they wired me $155,000. I went to their event. They did the stuff I told them. They had a $20,000 coaching offer. And they wanted me to repitch that offer. That's when you come in and do the offer again after they did the offer. So they did the offer. They sold about 200 people on that offer. So 200 people, right, times 20,000 is $4 million. Well, I got up and did a repitch the next day. I did another 150 sales. That's another $3 million, right? So you say, Myron, what are you saying? Oh, that reminds me. I need to call them. So because they earned $1 million day award because they did like $7 million that day in revenue, right? And so that's why I charge what I charge. Now, $25,000 an hour sounds like a lot. $155,000 for coaching sounds like a lot. But what happened? They made $7 million in less than a week from hiring me to coach them and then joining my inner circle. It was like a total no-brainer. They only paid $180,000. $180,000 turned into, they were going to make some of that money anyway, but let's just say it just turned into the extra $3 million. Okay, it's a no-brainer, right? So most people don't know how to calculate value. This is what I do. What I do when I'm evaluating an offer, I ask myself, okay, what is the transformation? What's the value I think I can bring to these people in 1 year? If the answer is, like, let's say I think I can help them make $100,000 or save $100,000 in the next 12 months. I don't have any problem charging them $10,000 for that solution. If I think I can help them make $1 million in the next 12 months, I don't have I'm not the least bit bothered charging like $100,000, right? My VIP days, $200,000. You really believe you can help people make $2 million in a year? We've already helped people make $7 million a week after the VIP day, $2.6 million a week after the VIP day. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you, I'm showing you that sometimes people don't buy because your price is wrong. Like, think about it. If I said, okay, I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million, and that's going to be all you have to do is pay me $3,000. That doesn't make sense, right? Does that make sense to you? You pay me $3,000, and I'll help you make $1 million. Why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just go make the $1 million myself, right? So what I'm doing is I'm showing you the problem that people have is when you have the wrong price, then if your price is too high or your price is too low, people aren't going to buy. And sometimes your price is too high or too low, but it's just, it's based on the wrong thing. Now, when I say your price is based on the wrong thing, what do I mean? Most people who do coaching, consulting, and agency work, they base their price on their time because they came out of a job where they got paid for their time. And so they keep charging for their time because that's how they did it when they had a boss. But I got news for you. If you have a business, you are the boss. So you don't have to get paid for your time. You can start getting paid for your results, which makes way more sense. Are y'all tracking? That makes sense? Okay, so they have the wrong price. And then the last thing is this. They have the wrong presentation. And the presentation that they're presenting is what they're showing people when they do their presentation is they're showing them the pieces of their offer. The thing they're emphasizing is the pieces. What do I mean? Well, you get 7 workbooks, you get 8 videos, you get 19 audios, right? So you're making the value of your offer in your presentation because that's what a presentation is supposed to do, right? A presentation is supposed to reveal the value of the offer to the people you're giving the presentation to. Okay, so you got The presentation, you're showing them the pieces. That's the wrong thing to show them. Or you're showing them, please don't do this. You're emphasizing the pieces, or you're emphasizing the process. This is like the worst of all presentations, when you emphasize the process. You start showing them how to do the thing they're going to do when they buy. Because now you're showing them how hard it is. Are y'all tracking? This is the wrong process. And so you're showing them the wrong thing. You're showing them the wrong presentation. You're showing them the pieces. You're showing them the process. The process is not the value of your offer. In fact, the process will turn more people off to buying your offer than it will turn them on. The pieces are not the value. Because here's the reality. Most people think the pieces are the value. Here's what they do. They load up their courses with all this junk because they think the more I put in it, the more I'm over-delivering. The more you put in it, the more you're not over-delivering, you're overwhelming. Only put in the stuff that's absolutely necessary and no more. Leave everything else out. Because when it comes to getting a result, more is not better, faster is better. So if I'm going to show you how to make $1 million a year, better yet, I'm going to talk about you. If you can show me how to make $1 million a year, and you can do it with 70 videos, 70 audios, and 70 PDFs, or one piece of paper with 7 sentences, give me one piece of paper, I'll pay more for that than I will all the other junk. Right? Because wealth has a need for speed. Right? So don't show them your process. Don't make the value of your offer your process. Don't make the value of your offer your person. You get so many hours of my time. My $155,000 Inner Circle coaching program, and we got 90-something people in this program. They get one one-hour, they get one one-on-one 1-hour coaching session per year. One. And by the way, I'm going to shock y'all. The 1-hour coaching session is not for them. It's for me. What does that mean? That means the only reason I do that is so that I can understand better their business they are in, so I can coach them better in the group coaching sessions. Why? Because one-on-one is not more valuable. Group coaching is always more valuable to the people who are in the coaching program, because other people in the coaching program will ask questions that person didn't think to ask, so they'll get help they didn't even know they needed. And it's more valuable for the person doing the coaching because I don't end up spending 12 hours a day talking to individuals. So everybody wins. So the person, Larry, are we not going whiteboard? It's not. There, so for those of you who can't see the screen, there is an issue. One of the things we'll do, since y'all can't see the whiteboard that I'm writing on, because usually there's apparently a problem with some of our tech. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make sure we put a link to, I'm going to turn this into a PDF. We're going to put a link to the PDF to my whiteboard notes in the description so you have it on YouTube. How's that sound? Okay? So your person. Like, I don't make my person the value of any offer other than a VIP day. Right? They get to spend 8 hours with me. Now, here's what's really cool. The reason they get to spend 8 hours with me is because we do, like, that 8-hour part. Most of the time, we do it on a private jet from here to somewhere where I'm going to do an event. They get inside the ropes access. So it's on the jet, it's at the event. They get to watch me go and make millions of dollars in a single day, usually about an hour and a half. They get to watch me do that. They get to fly with me on a private jet to where I'm going, and then they get to fly back with me on a private jet. And the inside the ropes access with Myron Golden while he goes and makes it rain like a hurricane, right? And then I break down to them exactly what I did. So they saw it happen in real life, in real time. And now they're like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing ever, right? So it stretches their awareness and increases their belief in the possibilities of what they can do. Okay, so don't make your, this is the wrong presentation, y'all. What should the presentation be? The presentation should be one thing and one thing only. The presentation should be about the payoff. All of the stories should lead to the payoff. All of the illustrations should lead to the payoff. Here's what happens. Okay, here's how you can tell whether you're talking about the pieces, the process, or your person, or you're talking about the payoff. Here's how you can tell. You ready? If you're talking about the pieces, the process, the payoff, you're going to say, well, it has this, and it has that, and it has this, and it has that. And you're going to describe the thing, right? But if you change your presentation from what it has to what you get, you get this, and you get this, and you get this, and you get this. So I don't say our Inner Circle coaching program has office hours every other week, and it has 2 speaker trainings per year that teach you how to sell from the stage, and it has 2 Mouth to Millions events, and you get to come to Offer Mastery Live. It doesn't say that. It doesn't talk, but here's what it does say. You get 1 hour Destiny in a Day call. You get to come to office hours and hear me coach you and a bunch of other high-level entrepreneurs. You get to come to office hours and hear wins by people who are having $100,000 days, $300,000 days, $500,000 days, $1 million days, $5 million days, $7 million days. You get to come and be in this environment with these people who are doing these things, right? You get that. So if I'm talking to you about what you get, it makes you more likely to buy than if I'm talking to you about what it has. If I'm talking to you about what it has, I'm emphasizing it, which is making me the important person. But if I talk to you about what you get, I'm emphasizing you, which makes you the important person. And I promise you, you are the important person. This will change if you will understand and apply these principles that I just showed you on why people are resisting, they're not buying your irresistible offer, is because your offer is not really irresistible. If you do the things I showed you today, your offer will become irresistible and you'll make more sales than you can shake a stick at. I mean, guys, I'm not bragging. I'm just a regular person. And the people who are here in this room, they know I'm just a regular dude. I just figured some stuff out, right? So I ain't high and mighty. I ain't smart. I promise you, I'm probably not smarter than you. If I don't use deodorant, I don't smell the best. Even though people say, "Wow, you smell really good," I say, "I've been sweating," but it's actually my cologne. Okay, so, but that's what I say because I think I'm funny. Even sometimes I'm not as much as I think I am. So, but my point is, I'm a regular person. But we built a business. We built a business where my team members get to win, my clients get to win, I get to win. I get to hang out with my daughter and my son and my son-in-law, my granddaughter, my wife. I get to hang out with my family, my brothers. We get to do things. I have a life. I'm not hustling and grinding 24 hours a day. I work part-time. I usually work in the mornings, sometimes a little bit at night as well. And then during the day, I just do my thing, right? And we have a business that does millions of dollars in sales a month. This month, we'll do more than half of what we did all last year in revenue. Our business is growing end over end every year because of these principles I'm sharing with you. So this is not just me jumping on YouTube and making noise so I can do something. This is literally about me helping you find. Can I be really super crazy transparent? Last year, my son and I, we launched this challenge called the Make More Offers Challenge. Right? The next one starts next Monday. It starts in 3 days, right? So we launched this challenge called the Make More Offers Challenge. And the reason we launched the challenge is because our inner circle wasn't full. I know that sounds crazy. Our inner circle is not full. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to launch this challenge, sell a coaching program that helps people make enough money so they can upgrade and join our inner circle. Now our inner circle is almost full. Full is 100 people, and we're almost at 100 people. We're going to have to close it down before the end of the year. But we started a coaching program to help people make enough money to join our inner circle, and now our inner circle is almost full. Watch this. I do YouTube videos to teach entrepreneurs how to make money. So they go out, some people have watched videos I've made already and I've already made money, right? Just from videos that I've made, right? So they go out and make the money. They say, you know what, maybe I should join Myron's challenge. Maybe I should buy Myron Golden's B.O.S.S Moves book. So what I'm doing is what Frank Kern calls proving to people that you can help them by actually helping them. So I'm delivering the goods first, and then I don't even do high pressure sales. I just let people come find me. I promise you, if you will show up in the marketplace and deliver value and load people up with value, they will seek you out and buy everything you sell if the free stuff you gave them helps them more than the paid stuff they got from almost everybody else. That's the secret sauce to make your offers, your irresistible offers, truly irresistible. So if this video has helped you, if you like it, if it made sense to you, click the like button, click the subscribe button, share it, comment on it, and all the other YouTube-y stuff that I'm not thinking about, do that too. So I appreciate y'all. I hope this has been helpful for you. In the meantime, in between time, I'll see y'all next week.